Have you created a reputation of being always late, inconsistent, unreliable? Maybe you don't mean to be this way, but your calendar's just scattered and you just don't know where your time's going, and sometimes you happen to be late, but you don't mean anything bad by it. Listen, this video is for you. Today I'm going to show you the 3 steps to becoming more consistent and repairing your reputation. I have to be honest with you though. These steps that I'm going to give you, they all work together. So there's no cherry picking. Cherry picking is not going to get you results here. Watch the video the whole way through if you're committed to being more consistent, and make sure you use these steps together. Hey friends, I'm Coach Tiffany Taylor, and I help entrepreneurs and CEOs streamline their business, rebrand productivity, and become profitable personal brands. If you're new here, welcome. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell to be notified every time I post a new video about business, branding, and productivity. Are you struggling to manage your own time? Like you just don't know where it goes, you're not really sure what to focus on next, it feels like everything's just coming at you, everything's urgent, everything's important. If that's you, let me be the first person to tell you today to stop using a to-do list. Your to-do list is only causing you chronic anxiety and it's not keeping you organized. We have to just call it like it is. It's time to get better at prioritizing. It's a skill you're always going to need in your life, and it's going to become more important the more you progress in your career. If I'm speaking to you today, go ahead and download my new Trello template that'll help you prioritize all of your tasks and all of your lists. It's completely free, so just click the link below in the description and it'll bring you to the Facebook group where you'll get that template and all my other ones absolutely free online. If you're lacking consistency, there's really 3 key contributors to something like this. 1, you're lacking clarity and belief. Clarity on what you should be focused on and why you should be focused on it. 2, you're lacking energy. You don't have enough energy to actually carry out what it is that you're meant to be doing. And 3 would be lack of reflection. Everyone says hindsight's 20/20, but if you're not using that 20/20 vision to look back and see what's working and what's not, then it's not going to help you progress and get that, 1% better every day. The first step in solving any problem or challenge you have, or letting go of any sort of pattern that's holding you back, is to understand the root cause of where it's coming from. We live in a world that treats symptoms, calling it what it is. We like Band-Aids. It's what pill can I take to fix this, or what shot can I get to fix that? And in reality, that's not the way it works when you want to be successful. And as an entrepreneur, you probably already know that. But how is that being shown in the way you approach work? Finding the root cause of what's causing that lack of confidence, that lack of clarity, that lack of consistency is going to be really important for you. So what do I mean by this? Where can it start? If you're lacking clarity on what to do next or why you're doing something, that's a really key indicator to me that A, you don't have clear written goals. This means something that's measurable. This means a very specific goal. This means a goal that has a deadline tagged onto it. If you don't have this, it's going to be really hard for you to prioritize because you're lacking a reference point. And if you're someone who's maybe setting a lot of goals, you have the most goals, but they're constantly shifting and changing, maybe you're not hitting them, or maybe you've just given up because you make too many goals at once and overcommit, that's a really key indicator that you don't have clarity on what your vision is. You need a reference point to decide which goals are most relevant and important to you, and that is the vision piece. And I'm gonna tell you guys, because if you're gonna learn on this channel, I like to be direct about this. If you don't have a vision board, if you can't visually see what your vision is and show it to someone physically, that tells me you don't have a vision. You can't just say, I have it in my head. That shows me you haven't gone really deep into the why and what that vision looks like. Listen, if it feels like I'm speaking to you right now, then it's time to do an energy audit. We've heard of task audits, we've heard of time audits. It's really important you do an energy audit as well, right? So how do we go about doing this? First, we have to know where energy actually comes from. And I've asked this question in quite a few workshops with hundreds of people, and most people can't give a quick answer on where energy comes from. So I'm gonna let you know right now, if you're low on energy, first thing you need to look at is your sleep. I know when most of us were in school, we would ask, why do we sleep? And the teacher would say, I don't know, science can't tell us that yet. Well, science is in, we have the data. You need to sleep, and you need at least 8 hours, minimum. If you're the average person, there's a select few percent of the population who can do with less than that. You'll already know by the time you're watching this if that's you. Otherwise, you need to be prioritizing the sleep. Inconsistent energy comes from inconsistent sleeping patterns. It's the biggest thing. Second thing is food. Are you eating enough food? Are you eating the right food? What is the portions of your food? What is the quality of the food? Being someone with ADHD, this is something I actually really struggled with, especially when I was starting my business, because focus was so difficult for me to harness that by the time I was able to drop into that deep focus, I didn't want anything to interrupt me. So I would just opt to skip my lunches, and obviously that led to energy crashes, so I don't recommend that. Doing something like a meal prep company can really help you here. Another part of this energy management is like, who's in your social circle? Who are the humans you have around you? Are they energizing you? Are they like batteries around you, where every time you talk to them or every time you hang out with them, you feel more energized? Or are they sucking the life out of you? And I don't mean to be that extreme with it. Sometimes it is that extreme. But even the people who just leave you feeling blah, right? That zaps your energy. And energy is something you really need to protect and guard if you're serious about building your brand, building your business, and being the best version of you. This is a bit advanced for those who've been focused on productivity for quite a while now, but I cannot recommend tracking your biometrics enough. Tracking your sleep, tracking your resting heart rate, tracking your steps. These are things that really do increase the quality of your life, and actually the quality of your mood and your work as well. For more info on that, I do have this inside my course, and I'm definitely going to be making another video about this because biometrics are so important and have genuinely changed my life. That info is going to be linked below, but let's get on to the next step. All right, the next step. If you are late for meetings, overlap meetings, overbooked, you're forgetting things, you're creating now this reputation of someone who's always late and thinks it's okay, right? If that's you, this tells me that you're missing a feedback loop. And by the way, everyone needs this. That's the biggest secret, okay? Because what that tells me is you haven't figured out what's going wrong. Every week, it's like you're surprised that you're late, or you're surprised something's happening again to you. And to do the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result, is actually what we've all heard the saying, insanity, right? But we don't create the reflection. My tip for you is this: create a reflection process for yourself. Like an actual process that you respect, that really gives you feedback on yourself. When you are an employee, you get feedback from your boss. When you're an entrepreneur or a CEO, you really need to create that space to give yourself your own feedback, because the more data points you have and the better quality of the questions you ask yourself, the more you're gonna learn and grow and get better and better, and that reputation is gonna rebuild itself. Now, what I usually do for me personally, I like using a Google form for this. I'm not so much a paper and pen person as I used to be. It just makes it difficult with all the travel that I do. So in order for me to maintain consistency, I do everything online. Create a Google form. Schedule a meeting with yourself for 15 minutes every Friday and just fill out the reflection form and answer the questions. I have about 7 questions I ask myself week in and week out, and I actually created a template for you if you want to adopt this practice as well. Again, totally free. I love giving things away. The link is attached below for the Facebook group, and it's inside there as a free resource for you. You can steal the template, steal the questions, use it. Honestly, just make it a mission of yours. Like, set the intention right now to be a few percent better every day, like 10% better every week. That way you can learn from your days and you can learn from your mistakes instead of just being bound to repeat them over again. Are you looking for more in-depth guidance on how to overcome distraction, procrastination, and add more structure and flow into your life? Join my Facebook group below. It's totally free. There's lots of free resources and workshops in there. And honestly, you never know. Your next great hire or your next business partner might be waiting for you inside. All right, guys, well, that was the 3 steps on becoming more consistent. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out the next video on how to get more done in less time.